Day 2 we started at Beijing railway station, as almost every morning we have to go through the scans at the train station, catch our trains. I checked that I look like a human because I was very tired. And also this sign, what is that? Is that a blood coming out of that finger? Oh my god. Once we found our way out of the train station, we caught this bus that takes you directly to the Great Wall, which you, by the way, don't have to prepare, you just use your Alipay on the spot. The weather was horrible and we of course came unprepared with no umbrellas, no raincoat or anything, but thankfully there was this little souvenir shop that was selling these very cute raincoats, so we all wore those. To get to the wall, you first have to walk through this building, kind of like a street with different snacks, souvenirs, craftsman shop, and there is a lot of different stuff to buy, but I honestly felt like the souvenirs there were way overpriced compared to the rest of Beijing. Then you have to go through another security check. Your bags have to go through the scans, you go through the frame and everything, and then you get on the way. It's honestly pretty long. It's like 2 or 3 kilometers to get to the actual wall, but thankfully there's a lot to see along the way. Like these cute little food trucks and a lot of different sculptures and statues. And we also thankfully found Starbucks, which I was so thankful because I really needed coffee. And the matcha lattes in China are absolutely amazing, so of course I got another one. Now, when I was booking this trip, I had no idea it was gonna rain, but I was so thankful that I pre-booked the cable car to take us up to the wall, because I cannot imagine walking it up in the rain. That was when we got the first glimpse of the wall and also these beautiful mountains. Just look at that, it's so beautiful. The weather was not getting better and quite frankly it was getting worse and worse, but honestly it did not take away from the experience at all. The Great Wall of China had been one of those places that I always dreamt of visiting, and I was just so happy to finally be there. One thing they don't tell you about the wall is how steep it is. Sometimes it's just this very steep slope and sometimes there are steps, which because it rained, it was all so slippery, so we had to be really careful walking up and down. But look at the people struggling, that's what I looked like. Another thing that surprised me, I always thought it was just one long continuous wall, but there are actually several different sections going in different directions and over different hills and mountains, which honestly I probably should have known, but I always thought it was just one long continuous wall, and it's not. At some point I completely stopped caring about the rain. I was just so happy to be there. Of course it rained like crazy the whole time we were up on the wall, and it only stopped raining the moment we were almost down and we were almost about to leave. And I don't know how my hair got so wet even though I had the raincoat on the whole time. That's still a mystery to me. Despite the horrible weather, I'm so glad that we visited, and next time I'm in Beijing and if the weather is better, I'm definitely gonna visit again, because that's just a place I don't think you can get tired of. On the way down, we also stopped at this souvenir shop, which had a lot of beautiful stuff, but I honestly couldn't buy too much because I only had one backpack with me in China for the whole trip, so I only bought this one really pretty bracelet, which was honestly enough for me. After we got down the mountain, we got on that long walk back to the bus stop, and we saw the same craftsman again. Look how beautiful that is! At this point we were so hungry, but my friend didn't feel like experimenting because the man didn't speak English and they also had no English signs, but I got 3 skewers, 2 of which were I think pork, and the third one I honestly have no idea, but it was good, so... We got on the same bus back to downtown Beijing, stopped at the same store close to our hotel to buy some snacks, just went to the hotel to change into some dry clothes and decided to go into the city. We really wanted to look around and just take in the atmosphere of Beijing, even though it was raining, but that was fine. It was still so pretty. Look at that! Now this was so interesting. Maybe I didn't stand at the right angle, but it still looked so cool. And also let me tell you about the amount of shopping centers here. This is a shopping center. This is another shopping center. And this is another shopping center right next to each other. We found this kind of hidden Malatang restaurant, and honestly, I love Malatang in any country, but let me tell you, Malatang in China just hits a completely different spot. We walked over to this store that sells tea and different tea products, also interesting flavored ice cream, teapots and bunch of other stuff, but most importantly matcha powder, which we came here for. And I also bought these matcha candies, matcha drops, which was so good. They also sell matcha ice cream, which was so freaking good. I would need this every single day. I thought the architecture of this shopping center looked so interesting, so I wanted to show you that. Me and my friend got drinks. I got pistachio milk and she got like a matcha boba milk tea. For a while we just walked around the shopping center looking at what they had if we wanted to buy anything, but we both only had the big backpack that we took on this trip to China and Malaysia, and we couldn't really buy many things because obviously we had a weight limit. We got back to our hotel and my friend decided to go to sleep early and I just sat outside for a little bit longer, but that's the end of day 2 and stay with me for the rest of the trip.